My people, what's going on? I've been issued another challenge. My guy Hala has made a video about the Vikings supposedly not making it to the playoffs. This is the same guy who says that David Lee is better than Amari Stoudemire, just to throw that out there. So anyway, this guy's made a video and wants me to respond to it. No problem. Quick recap of his video. It contains some misinformation. He said that Jared Allen wasn't one of the 3 players who went down to Mississippi to try and convince Favre to come out of retirement. He was. It contained some bad grammar. He said that his logic was irrefutable. It's irrefutable. I know you know that, but you know I gotta talk about you. And then he had a host of reasons backing up the wacky thought that the Vikings, who made it to the NFC Championship game last year, who just picked up one of the best weapons in football, aren't even gonna make the playoffs in a pretty mediocre NFC. Basically, Brett Favre sending text messages of his junk turned out better than this disgrace of a video. Let's think about this for a second. First off, you gotta think about it like this. The NFL season is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long season. Think about it last year. When the Chargers were 2-3, the Broncos got out to a 6-0 start and people were saying, oh, the Broncos are gonna win the division. The Chargers won their division by 5 games, all right? It's a long season. We got a long way to go. Just because you're off to a bad start doesn't mean that your season is doomed if you're the Vikings. Here's another stat for you. In each of the last 22 seasons, a team who's been 5-5 or worse has made the playoffs. 5-5 or worse. All right, you might get out of the blocks slowly, but it doesn't mean your season is over. And you look at the Vikings. They lost to the defending champion Saints on the road. They lost to the Dolphins at home. It's not like they lost to the Bills. It's not a mortal sin to lose to either of those teams. And yeah, they weren't impressive against the Lions, but neither were the Bears. They should have lost if not for a terrible rule. And the Packers barely beat the Lions by 2 points. And if you look at the other teams in the Vikings division, the Bears have their issues. They just gave up 10 sacks last week against the Giants. 10 sacks in a game. 9.5. You telling me that team doesn't have a few issues? The Packers haven't looked good the last couple of weeks. The Lions are the Lions. And injuries. Yeah, you can talk about Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin's played every game so far. Those are injury concerns. Those guys are coming back. Nick Barnett is not coming back for the Packers. All right, Stafford's out for half the season. Those are bigger concerns than what the Vikings have. And I haven't even gotten to Randy Moss. A rejuvenated Randy Moss can still dominate. Slight difference between throwing to Bernard Berrien and Randy Moss, okay? It's a slight difference. Favre's not going to be on the same pace of throwing 2 picks every game. Not going to end up with 32 for the season. Rest assured. And then you think about what Moss is going to mean for the running game and Adrian Peterson. Then on top of that, you got one of the best defensive lines in football. There's no doubt this team is going to be in the playoffs. And if they get Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin back healthy, they're not only going to be in the playoffs, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the Super Bowl. Just talk about not making the playoffs in the NFC this year. Are you kidding me? There's no way they miss out on the playoffs. Absolutely no way. But here's Hala's channel. Here's a link to his video. Check it out. Just get this guy straight. Set him on the right path, all right? He's got the market cornered on wacky sports opinions. I'm Brian Now. That's a no-brainer.